Hello, U.S. History students, and welcome to the recording of the Week 19 quiz. I'll be reading the questions and the answer options to you. Question number 1. Which is not a characteristic of capitalism? Market economy, supply and demand, freedom of competition, a society without social classes. Number 2. Which one of the following is an example of monopoly? The government doesn't restrict or interfere with cell phone company decisions. One business has purchased all the major cell phone companies and can set prices without competition from others. Cell phone companies determine what types of products they offer, the location of their business, and the price they charge. Or prices of cell phones are determined by the supply available and the demand from consumers. Question number 3. How did monopolies affect industry and banking in the late 1800s? They introduced new business practices that created large industries and produced great wealth for a few. They set the standard for the development of many large industries and a nationwide banking network. They reduced the effectiveness of banking practices but helped the growth of industries. They produced great wealth that benefited workers. Number 4. Read the following quote from Andrew Carnegie's Gospel of Wealth. This, then, is held to be the duty of the man of wealth, first to set an example of modest, unostentatious living, shunning display of extravagance, to provide moderately for the legitimate wants of those who depend upon him, and after doing so, to consider all surplus revenues, which come to him simply as trust funds, which he is called upon to administer, and strictly bound as a matter of duty to administer in the manner which, in his judgment, is best calculated to produce the most beneficial results for the community, the man of wealth thus becoming the mere agent and trustee for his poorer brethren. Which of the following could have been inspired by this quote? A wealthy family hosts a party for friends to encourage business networking. B, a company's monopoly in the transportation industry is dissolved, allowing new businesses to emerge. C, a wealthy industrialist donates money to develop an institute for medical research. D, a railroad company charges a cattle farmer high shipping rates because there are no other competing rail lines in the area. Number 5. Why did workers organize to strike against their employers? Low wages, long hours, and harsh working conditions. Employers were angry with employees. Employees were leaving. Employees wanted to be given stock from their employer. Number 6. What did the federal government do in response to union-led strikes? Attempted to mediate the issues so that both sides could be heard, remained impartial so that the dispute could be settled by labor and management, sided with labor and reprimanded business owners for their behavior, acted quickly to end strikes using both the courts and federal troops. Number 7. Which of the following is not an accurate statement related to push and pull factors for immigration? A push factor is something that encourages people to leave their homeland. Poverty and difficulty getting a job would be examples of push factors. War and lack of religious freedom would be examples of pull factors. A pull factor is something that encourages people to move to one place over other options. Question 8. Why was immigration through Angel Island in California more difficult than immigration through Ellis Island in New York? Angel Island was also used as the local prison, so there wasn't a lot of space available for incoming immigrants. Asians immigrated through Angel Island, and there was more prejudice against them. Angel Island was farther from the mainland, so it was harder to find the workers who would travel out to process immigrants. Ellis Island received more funding and could operate more efficiently. Number 9. The rise of nativism towards the end of the 1800s leads to what? Choose 2 answers. Immigrants were welcomed to increase the diversity that makes up the melting pot of America. Laws were passed limiting the numbers of new immigrants into the country. Immigrants were attacked by groups of Americans who worried they would take away their jobs. new immigrants were granted citizenship quicker. Number 10, which of the following statement is not true about the government's response to immigration in the late 1800s to early 1900s? Creation of a committee to make the process to bring immigrants to the United States easier, passage of the Chinese Exclusion Act, created the Dillingham Commission that determined that new immigrants coming to the United States was not as intelligent or were not as intelligent as those who came in the early 1800s. The policies that were created eventually brought an end to the large wave of immigration by about 1924. Once done with your quiz, please make sure to click Submit Quiz so that it appears correctly in the gradebook to yourself and your instructor. Good luck.